You know, it's July 12th, 2014. Just leaving the Mid-Ohio Road Course, driving back home, Smiley and Red. Thinking about an intro for this Sam Williams video. After just going out and hanging out in the corner worker zone where all the corner workers go, I just started thinking, you know, so many times in life we're looking for a hero. And we maybe look to an athlete or a superstar, you know, maybe singer or, you know, racers. You know, we're kind of all racers in this realm. But you know, after experiencing what we just experienced today with all the videos, we're going to get to see all these now. Sometimes that hero's just living is your next door neighbor. You know, it's the guy down the street that just, you know, comes over and helps you fix some stuff every now and then. So I want you to keep that in mind to various different levels. Everybody that's in this video is a hero, and obviously there's a primary focus on Sam Williams, but each and every face, Smiley behind the camera, Red back there supervising and doing stuff, me, I mean, in some levels, we are all heroes to somebody. So I want you to keep that in mind while you're watching this awesome video about an incredible family, an incredible man that's left behind an incredible legacy and touched many people's lives. But just remember, there's a little bit of Sam Williams in all of us. Keep that in mind. Enjoy this video. I think you're going to like it. Hey, welcome to Vintage Motorcycle Days. Let's shoot for this tape. This is going to be something we're going to use with the legendary Sam Williams tape. Just a couple minutes. Right back behind me, you're going to see some vintage 125 and 250 motorcycles. Not sure if Sam's ever ridden those before, but we're glad to be here at the Mid-Ohio Raceway. Check this out right back behind me. You're going to hear the scream of a bunch of two-stroke motorcycles, most likely from the 60s and the 70s. And these bikes haven't been made for a long, long time. You'll see them right back behind me coming down this big, long back straightaway here at the Mid-Ohio Road Course into this right-hand turn. They call this the S's now. I like to call it madness because that's what they used to call it. But you're going to see all that. We're going to talk a lot about a buddy of ours named Sam Williams, because that's what this whole entire weekend is about, even though all these people don't know that. That's what our weekend's about, and we're glad to have you here with us. We're looking forward to telling Sammy and his whole family and everybody around him, we love you, buddy. So check this out. This is what he's lived for many, many years. Wow, look at that big jump by the leader. Yeah, nice big gaggle of pack coming along back behind him. Speaking of vintage motorcyclists, the riders also tend to be pretty vintage too. I don't know, maybe it's a Harley, I can't even tell by looking at it. Yeah, it looks like that's a Harley. You'll see this old Harley machine right here, parked right beside this brand new Harley machine here. Look at this, folks, a Royal Enfield. Unless you're like a major motorcycle enthusiast, you wouldn't know what that is. Look at this Kawasaki Speed, I'm sorry, I thought it was a Speed Triple. Kawasaki 900 4-cylinder inline. I mean, this is a motorcycle that hasn't been manufactured. Let me see if I can find that. There's usually a plate on the side. I can't see it. It looks like they've taken off. I think this is a 1976. Look at this KC. I'm sorry, it's an LTD 1000. For those of you that are used to Nelson Ledges road racing, this is the same motorcycle that majestic Billy Bloom rides. 76 years old in 4 days the last time I talked to him. Look at this R1200S. Now we move into some amazing modern sport bike stuff. Look at this GS right here beside that. I mean, you will see every kind of motorcycle. Here's a BFR. Ooh, my favorite. The Ducati. nice new Ducati monster. Look at that sitting, an FZ1 sitting right back beside there. I mean, you'll see. Look at this Smiley over here. Look at this. Oh, there's this. The Kawasaki Speed Triple. See those pipes sticking out of the bottom of there? This is a two-stroke. So if you ever had like a weed eater, you know, ring, like speed up real fast. That's what this is. 3 different cylinders. This was an absolute incredible racing machine when it was first made. This bike kind of had 2 speeds. It kind of went and it went down the road, and then it did that, and then it took off at about 150 miles an hour. Look at that suspension. I mean, this is old school technology. This is one of the baddest bikes during its day. The kind of stuff you'll see at vintage motorcycle days, and I'd be willing to bet that Sam Williams has had a couple of these in his career and can tell us all kinds of stories about the Kawasaki Speed Triple. I didn't tell you.
Okay.
So hey, wait, while we're here, so who are we standing with?
My name's Andy Williams.
This, my good folks, would happen to be the son of the legendary Sam Williams, Andy. So I think the first time we met was probably about what, 06? And you were living in where I'm living now. Actually, we live, where do you live? Sarasota, Florida. No, we're out in Sarasota. Okay.
I'm Macintosh Proctor.
He's Macintosh and Proctor. We literally live about 3 miles apart, maybe 4. So here we are at Mid-Ohio Raceway, about what, 1,200 miles away from Florida.
Right.
And now we're standing here in a piss talking. We didn't even talk about this or plan to come in here. When you were endurance racing with your dad, what was that like? I mean, here you are, you're an adult. I mean, it's cool.
It was very cool. I mean, I've always wanted to do it with my dad growing up, watching him race in the 70s, and I thought it'd be the greatest thing ever just to be able to do that. So I finally said to myself, let's get it done, Dad, if you want to do it. And then another buddy of mine that was from Akron up here, down in Sarasota, we both flew up together. And
so you would fly back and forth from Sarasota to Nelson Legends Raceway to endurance race with the legend.
Yes, the legend. I agree with you on that.
Well, how did that feel? Did you feel like you were kind of like in strange shoes or something? Or?
No, I felt like it was something I always wanted to do with my father, and it was like a lifelong dream, so I'm glad we got that done.
So see, for those of you that are out here listening to this, it's never too late, because you were what, like almost 40?
I was 42.
42, and your dad's been racing all your life.
Right.
But now all of a sudden you're out there racing with him.
Right.
I mean, how freaking cool is that? Because I love it when people, I was just talking to Bloom, we're up the track at the May race. Billy Bloom, the 76-year-old. And people always tell me all the time, I've always wanted to do that. And, you know, they may not have a Sam Williams, but why aren't you doing this? I mean, some of these bikes sitting around here, what do you buy them for? $1,500, $1,000?
Right. Well, we just saw a, what the heck was it? Guy bought out here at the swap meet for $700, the Bighorn.
Oh,
Bighorn, just like my dad's Bighorn.
Yeah.
And he bought that for $700. I'm thinking to myself, hey,
why didn't I buy this?
You could do that too. Just buy it now and get back into vintage racing, you know. So I mean,
so not to get all mushy with you, but
don't make me cry.
No, I'm gonna do my best now. Well, actually, I'm gonna do my best too. So the one thing that you'd love to say to your dad?
I love him. I think he's my hero.
I don't think I have anything to add to that. Mine too. Great to talk to Andy. Thanks, dude.
Thanks.
Hey, you know, there's something for everybody with vintage motorcycles, you know, and you might be saying, oh my gosh, I could never ride a bike like this. I mean, you guys are crazy. So here's something right for you. Look at this. This, God knows what year this is. This is a Benelli. I have no clue what year it is. It's only $600. Look at this. I would be willing to bet that anybody watching this video would feel comfortable getting on this motorcycle. I mean, look at this thing. Is that not the coolest little thing you've seen? You think all these pit bikes and mopeds are all like so popular now in all different places, but you could have something like this. I'm guessing this thing's probably from the 60s or the 70s. I mean, look at this. I'm not actually going to sit on it now. I mean, you can do this. Anybody can do this. Okay. What you're hearing in the background is the announcer here at Mid-Ohio Raceway, July 12th, 2014, talking about the number on Douglas Duane's motorcycle. They're saying it's 47. 47's on their Y. For anybody that's been around Nelson Legends, geez, I promised myself I wasn't going to get too choked up, but I'm doing it anyways. That's Dougie, Do It Duane riding Sam Williams, Eddie Lawson replica, GPC, I believe it's 1,000. I don't think it's 1,100. They weren't doing those back then. Dougie's riding that bike, hasn't been on the track in a number of years. Dougie is absolutely wicked, stupid, crazy fast. Right back over my shoulder here in just a couple minutes, we're going to see Wilkie, Blake, all the guys that work together, and I can't name all the names, but everybody. You can hear the bike starting in the background. So many people work so hard to get all these Sam Williams motorcycles together here for this weekend in Mid-Ohio. We're going to see Dougie coming through here. He will run in lap times, and will probably be close to the fastest lap times that are going to be turned all weekend here at this vintage motorcycle weekend. I'm listening to them right out of my right hand here. I can hear them. They're just going through the keyhole up around the top. You come into that corner, it's on camber as you come in, and then it banks away from you, meaning the track actually wants to push you off the side of the racetrack, and then it's hard on the gas down a wickedly long back straightaway. Probably within about 3 to 5 seconds, Smiley can pan over to the left. We will look over, right over my left-hand shoulder, and you're going to see that number 47 motorcycle come blasting out. Right up there where those folks are. I hear him right now. He's going to show up there. Is Douglas Dwayne ripping that bike down through that corner and pitching her. Look at that big wide handlebar. Look how big that bike is. Up over the S's. And it's so cool to see Dougie out there on that number 47 Sam Williams machine. Sam has done so much for so many people throughout the years. I mean, the number is literally endless. I'm going to have to get the exact numbers, but I know it's been well over 40 years. Actually, I could say it's been, well, probably close to 50 years. I know Sam was racing in the early 70s, still putting guys out on the racetrack, still putting some of the most top-notch equipment available that you could possibly ride on the racetrack. Even if it's 30 years old, it's absolutely amazing stuff. Sammy, everything's been awesome. We're so glad for all the things that you've done, and your wife, and your family, and your kids, and Blake, and all your buddies, and everything that's done, and I'm going to forget a million names, Diesel, and all the guys that have been involved at some point in time, have just done an amazing job, and I am so glad. I know myself personally, and I can just say this just for me, I am so glad that I've been able to be honored to know you, and to be racing with you, and to tell stupid stories about you guys while you were racing endurance races at Nelson Ledges, because that's just what I do. Here we actually get some facts. Dougie Dwayne out there. We'll snap back here just a little bit, get a couple more shots at Dougie. Actually, I hear him coming back down the back straightaway again already. To give you an idea how long it takes to complete a lap here at the Mid-Ohio Road Course. Dougie out there smoking on that Eddie Lawson GPC replica. Eddie Lawson replica. There he is again. You can hear him hard on the brakes, downshifting 3 times, flipping it in. Bike's popping nice. Got that thing jetted just the way they want it. A little bit of gas going up over the hill. See him skipping that back end a little bit, getting on the gas just a little early. Dougie, check it out. Folks, check this out. Look at all the folks that are here to see all these motorcycles. Sitting beside me. Wait, you gotta check this out. Look at this. This is freaking cool. You know, every freaking time I see you, it doesn't matter where I go, what I do, you've always got something. You're just cool.
Mr. Dashing.
I mean, he's just, why does he get this stuff?
My wife gets it.
Yeah. See what I mean? I mean, top, fashionable people.
Her shoes are brighter than mine because she just put your batteries.
So, I got a couple questions. So, first year of racing.
Road racing?
Yeah.
1972, 24-hour race.
1972, the first 24-hour, first year of racing.
First time I ever saw a road race.
Okay.
Oh, first year of racing.
Did you run dirt before?
Yeah. I
Started in 69. Folks, when I talk about the living legend, 1969, I was born in 1967. When I was 2, this guy was out freaking racing motorcycles. Still is here in Mid-Ohio. What do you think about Dougie's ride?
Just what I expected him to do.
He ran out front. The whole race.
Go fast and hurry every chance you get.
I just to show here, go ahead and pan left, Smiley. The dude over there, kind of the little puffball looking guy, he's gonna hate me for saying that. That's the legendary Dougie Dwayne in the black shorts there with no shirt on that just came off that GPC 1000. So you're here, you're at Mid-O. Favorite racing level? I know you have 1,000, maybe a million, but just pick one out.
Probably our first 24-hour win.
That was when? 1974, first win. How many after that?
9 altogether.
9, and those were overalls,
Yeah.
not just class. So you didn't just win your class, you win the overall, beat every motorcycle on the track. Why? Why motorcycles? Why do you do this?
Collecting stamps
I didn't say it was an easy question.
collecting stamps wasn't enough fun.
But I mean, really, bikes, was it something in your childhood? I mean, your dad had a
He
bike.
was very much, well, he had an Indian before I was born. He was very much against it. I started out when I was 8 racing powerboats.
That's right, I do remember that.
My uncle was the president of the Outboard Association. Let me try it. I just raced every
So the
day.
first time you were in a race craft, you were 8. So we can kind of say it's in your blood, somehow.
Well, they were nice enough to let me win. And they've been kind through the years to let me win a bunch more. So.
Is that why you're living something like the race?
That's where it's
Yeah.
nice race.
I don't think since we don't talk about stuff, the first thing I raced I was 12. I used to race in Lake Cable, and that was the first thing. We had Dave Little, the guy that built all the American hot rod engines, lived in Lake Cable on his B mods, C mods, J mods, the little runabout and hydroplanes. That was actually the first thing that I raced when I was 12. Wow, I got something more in common with Sam Williams than I even know. Tell me about her. She's not on camera, she'll shoot me if I pick her. What's that been?
The first few years of our relationship, I don't remember much. You'd have to get that from her.
A little fuzzy.
But then I turned out to be a perfect person.
Man, I better move over here. We're going to get struck by lightning.
And she had a lot of patience.
A lot of patience.
She's never really liked the racing. She's never given me a big complaint about her. Wishes I didn't do it.
I mean, what an amazing piece of advice to give to a family. This man's raced since he was 8 years old and has spent most of his adult life racing, but his wife really doesn't like it, but yet here she sits in her cool shoes, which we just saw a minute ago.
She's been supportive all the time.
I mean, that's amazing.
I race go-karts, sports cars, Formula Vs, stock cars, RC cars,
RC cars.
I just got rid
She
of
probably like that.
She did.
Yeah, because you were just doing a little thing.
Actually, I broke my ankle in a race at Nelson's Ledges.
I thought you were going to say you broke your ankle when your RC car. That's what I would
No,
do.
but Mike Buka did.
Did
We tripped over the boards learning how to grab a car. And she said, here's something you might want to do, since I was going to be in a wheelchair off and on for about 6 months. She says, radio control cars. How much trouble could you get into there? So we went to a race up in Cleveland, which they host probably, used to be the biggest RC car race in the country, and it's diminished somewhat, but it's still a lot of ex-world champions up there and stuff. So I learned really fast from those guys.
Well, you know, one of the main reasons why I started road racing motorcycles, I played drums in high school, and I was a bowler. God, we're like 2 peas in a pod, just 40 years apart. And I'd blown my elbow out of bowling too, so I busted up my elbow bowling. My fingers were all busted up from playing drums, so I figured I had to find something safe to go do. So I started to race motorcycles. I mean, it seemed very logical to me. I've never. What's your most significant injury?
My ankle, like bone.
Oh, is that all? But literally, do you have any idea how many miles? Have you ever really thought about it? I mean, total mileage and hours.
Just in the endurance racing, just in the 24-hour races.
So if you were riding 4 hours a piece, you got well over.
First race I did 16 and a half hours in a race.
Just by yourself.
Yeah.
So you had 2 rides.
Everybody else got hurt.
Oh.
We're the last 6 and a half hours.
And you wonder why Ironman 16 and a half in 24 hours, folks, that is crazy. I mean, we're talking, and this was 70s, we're talking big 800-900 pound motorcycles. I mean,
Worse than that, it was an H1.
oh, jeez. God, that's like a freaking tank. So, and up and coming.
I didn't know any better. I thought that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, hey, that's
I'd
what you
never
do.
seen a road race until that day.
So you just did it.
But he called me up and said, you have leathers, don't you? And I said, yeah. And I thought we were going to do a poker run or something like that for 24 hours. I got up there and said,
What am I doing? So, an up and coming. Somebody that's out there that's watching this, that's thinking about it, they're maybe on the fence. What would you tell them?
make sure you got good health insurance. and an understanding family.
And go for it.
I can't say it's for everybody. It's just, I tried the car race and stuff. It wasn't the same feeling. I like the body image, the input. You can adjust things as you ride.
So let's go back to the other side. Worst memory. What's the worst thing you did? Worst weekend, worst memory. I hate to bring it up. There has to be something else. It's great.
There was significant. Good friend of mine got killed. His bike got ridden the previous year. And we did it with all the whole team was good friends. We did it side by side. Both of the bikes were out of the accident. Yeah, maybe same time.
So not only have you rode and raced, you've also been you've also like produced races.
Race director, tech inspector, announcer. Taking money at the gate, you name it. Anybody who's been around that long,
So you're gonna eventually end up somewhere, corner working, flagging.
I did some of that. Can you come out over here?
Yeah.
Can't see it.
About fast tracks. That was what it was all about. Hey, we need a corner worker. All right, off we go. Can I talk to you too? All right. I'm sorry? Oh yeah, where did the 47 come from?
When I was just a little kid, I was probably about 8 years old. Racer in the Akron area, he had a couple of double cars.
Drag cars.
Yeah, and his shop was just up the street from where I lived. And I used to ride up there every day. Just get it up the street. As soon as I was allowed to wipe the cars off, he had number 47 on it.
It was a neighborhood.
Yeah, he just passed away not that long ago. The last time I saw him, he was barely able to talk. He was laughing and smiling when he goes, I still had 47 on my bikes.
Wow, that's really cool. So it was kind of a neighborhood. It was really just kind of how your world was. Kind of there. Yeah, that's true. I never thought of that. And we were running 20 last weekend and it looked like a zone. I even feel it. Look good.
I'm retired today. I was condition I did. Okay.
So what else am I forgetting over here? Where'd the 47 come from? All right, well, we're going to jump over here. This may be the last time you ever see me. I may get shot doing this, but I'm going to do it.
This is Sam.
Yeah, Mommy Williams. That's all I ever remember. Jan. What a sweet name. So why do you put up with this?
He loved it.
That's all? I mean, it's not because you got to meet cool people like me?
No. I've met cool people lots of other places.
And they didn't harass you as much as I did. All your memories.
Did you tell them the story about Sam paying $20 to not talk about it?
Oh, yeah. He had to pay me one time because his wife was getting mad at me because I was telling somebody Sam Williams story.
He was allowed to ride, not race at the time. And he's doing all this stuff on the announcing about oh boy, they almost went down in that corner and they're doing this, they're doing that. This is really dangerous. He came back, I did the stopwatch at it, got in the car and locked the door. He went up to give him $20. Don't ever mention my name again.
I got watching on TV, she wouldn't have it on the radio, she wouldn't have it on the PA. She would literally lock herself away somewhere until the race was over and then go find out if he was okay.
I had to be there with a stopwatch.
Yeah.
I'd know when he was coming, and if he was late, then I checked with, and I checked with the corner workers, where is he, is he okay? But I had to.
So, of all the places you've been, got a favorite?
Racing, you mean?
Yeah, as far as racing wise, favorite track, favorite place.
Nelson.
Nelson Circus.
Every track we ever went to, and we went to a lot of them, he would park me at the safest place. I never saw him lean over. I never saw any,
There's a method to that.
He'd come back with, scuffs on his boots and the sides. How'd you do that? You don't lean over. Yeah. Somebody else must have been on the bike out there.
So he managed to know how to keep you
to make it look
freaking
safe.
out, right?
Yeah.
Hide you from all the major scary action.
I was standing beside another wife one time, and Sam was doing really well. And she's out there cheering for him. Go, Sam, go. And she looked at me, and I just had this straight look on my face. She said, "You don't cheer for him when he's out there?" I said, "No way." She walked away.
I don't want him going any faster than he already is.
Yeah, that's enough. Just come around. Just be there at the end.
Among the wildflowers.